Yo, what's up, YouTubers? Are you a facilitator? Are you a dictator? Are you French fried? Is your potato salad? Okay. Enough of the fancy introductions. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay. A series entitled Is the Juice Worth the Squeeze? Like, what are you doing and why? And then, problem. Is it worth it? Right? So, come out of her by people can include a plethora of situations. So what actually is that? How far separate is separate? Like,
In half a mile, turn right onto Arkansas 312.
Am I really separated if the powers that be can take my house? You know, how far separated is separated? You know what I mean? And
Take the next right onto Arkansas 312.
we see that the Bible explains that they will stop the ability to do commerce. Without the mark of the beast, you will not be able to buy or sell. And we see all these tariffs and implementations, and you know, you got to verify 3 times to, you know, click your Google Pay to buy something online. But once you're affiliated, it's just one click. No big deal. But if you're not, and you know, you try to buy something, do this or that, you know, you run into all these problems. So, you know, if I can't buy or sell, then what does that look like tomorrow? You know what I mean? Now, is the juice worth the squeeze? Well, according to the world, I would like to be able to buy and sell. According to God, according to the Bible, you take the mark of the beast, you're going to hell. So I see these undocumented people getting rounded up, and I'm just like, did they already trick us into this deal? Like, you know, they know my, you know, we got the social security number, the phone number, and all this other kind of stuff. Everything it takes to get a mortgage. I mean, they are thorough, right? And all these different things, all these different numbers, counting number, routing number. Don't know. But is the juice worth the squeeze? No, definitely not. Definitely not. If I'm able to buy and sell for 120 years and get rich as a Rockefeller, gain the entire world, no, the juice is not worth the squeeze. So that's the come out of her by people. So when we see the things about food, you know, should I go buy a salad? Should I grow a salad? Do I even need to eat plants that are trying to kill me? Why is the plant trying to kill me? How is the plant trying to kill me? Is the nutrition in the plant actually available for my body? So over and over and over, we see education and application to the things that matter. You know, if you want to prioritize, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have your priority. Like, I want to breathe, I want to eat, or I want to have water, or I want to eat. Shelter from the storm for my family. If I gotta die to provide that, cool. That juice is worth the squeeze. So if I give my life in service to God, that's worth it, right? So the juice is worth the squeeze. So, depending on where I live, it might make more sense to have a cow. Depending on where I live, it might make more sense to have like 3 sheep and a little red wagon and just walk everywhere I go and wear wool and eat cheese, whatever. Guerrilla garden where I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does this fit? So we could do the topic, you know, and bring it down on priority levels. You know what I mean? We need a chart for priority levels. We need, you know, from mark of the beast to drinking water. You know, is it worth the juice is worth the squeeze to figure out what's in your well water, like test your water, right? And then as we do this, coming from the cities, moving into the wildernesses, so you're going to have desert, mountain, woods, cold, hot, elevation changes, cold desert, high desert, So there's different types of homesteading. So we need regions, So in certain situation, I came out of town. Now I'm living on a dirt road, and a long distance from town. So is it worth it? Well, I'm going to have a good truck. I'm going to have a fuel efficient vehicle. I'm going to have planning skills. I need a big refrigerator versus I'm in town. You know what I mean? I can, have a small refrigerator, go get fresh food every 2-3 days, like they do over in England, Europe, whatever. So, these are other ways of going about it. And depending on where you're at, what you're doing, and your priorities and all that kind of stuff, that's where we're at. So there's some kind of outlines and some charts, and then you can go, get the whole community where they have these various charts, like your priority list. Is the juice worth the squeeze? How sick? Put first things first. You know what I mean? We can do like a 1 through 10 severity, and then we could do a regional map. That would be great. And then, water's not as big a deal in Seattle as it is in Phoenix. You see what I'm saying? So the correlation of charts would be great for the community. And then, you can establish a whole separate series, a whole separate channel. Is the juice worth the squeeze? You know what I mean? Like the opening intro, you're just like squishing a lemon or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, man. So yeah, that's stuff, and that's something that can be done. So I'm gonna get off here, keep it short, simple, straight to the point. Is the juice worth the squeeze? All right, Rock Hill.